Click play and call it work.
Why do I love Space Wolves? This is why I love Space Wolves. You got Wolfen, Thunderwolf Cavalry, and you have a lot of close combat, and you have a lot of blood and rage. And I'm also Viking. That's my blood heritage. I know I don't look like it, but I am. My last name is Nordquist. I am Swedish, Norwegian. I love these guys. That's what drew me to them initially. Just remember to click on the link in the video description below to see the new battle report featuring the Space Wolves with the new updated codex. Stay tuned for that at the end. What you're looking at right now is 18,387 points of beautiful wolves, Space Wolves. Came from a number of different places. I've been collecting these guys for approximately 4 years, maybe a little bit more, and I love them so much. There are a number of different painting commissions that have contributed to the painting of this army, in addition to some that I've done myself, very few that I've done myself. But I have to mention one name specifically, and that's Eric S. Warner. I hope I'm saying your last name right, brother. But Eric has donated a large portion of the Space Wolves that you see here. The ones with the blue bases specifically. So thank you, Eric, for that. And thank you for all of the, to all the other painting commission companies that have contributed to the painting of this. 55 Grey Hunters here. Varying weapons on these. I like to Mark-a-Dave them a lot because I don't actually, ironically, out of the amount of models that I have here, I don't have all of the weapons that I want on them. You see some Meltas in there, you see some bolt pistol chainswords, you see some bolters, but I like to give them other weapons options. We got 49 Wolf Guard, 30 Blood Claws, 20 Sky Claws, 37 Long Fangs. Got some multi-meltas there, some heavy bolters, missile launchers, plasma cannons, las cannons. We have every single type there. And then we have 18 Swift Claws, majority of them being they're having wolf claws. And then we have 3 attack bikes on the far side. 47 Wolf Guard and Terminator armor. Got some older models there. You can see the size of them. The scale is a little bit smaller. But still good, still beautifully painted. Got some dreadnoughts here. We have Murderfang, we got Bjorn there on the left, and then we have 3 venerable dreadnoughts. 20 Wolf Scouts, 8 of which have camel cloaks. Wolfen, we got 30 Wolfen there with their various weapons. They have all weapon types there for those guys. And then Fenrisian Wolves, we have 16 Fenrisian Wolves. Thunderwolf Cavalry, got a number of them in there. Land Speeders, got 6. 3 Razorbacks, 3 Rhinos. 10 Predators. We have a whole fleet here. You can rent them. You gotta bring them back. Insurance is interesting. 3 Vindicatores. 2 regular Land Raiders. We have a Crusader. And we have a Redeemer. 6 Drop Pods, which apparently aren't that great in 8th. And then we have 2 Storm Fangs and 2 Storm Wolves. Logan Grimnar. He's on his chariot here, and he's actually magnetized so that he comes off. Would you look? And he's got a base too. Now for the characters. We have Harold Deathwolf, we got Canis Wolfborn, Ulrich the Slayer. You see Niall Stormcaller. He's there a couple times actually, a couple different variations of him. We have Lucas the Trickster, Ragnar Blackmane, Aryak Rockfist, he's in there as well. When I started collecting Space Wolves, which was about 4 years ago, and at the time I had already been collecting Chaos Space Marines and Blood Angels, they were a newly updated codex at the time, and so that was a motivation to collect them, and another was because of the heritage, the inner Viking, the inner blood, that really was the pull. For me, was these guys look awesome. It was the rule of cool. That was why I wanted to collect them. I didn't know what the rules were about. I didn't know any of the formations at the time. All I knew is that I liked the look of the models and the feel. As I started playing Space Wolves and experimenting with different models and units, especially the Thunderwolves, it was a different feeling that I had been used to because they are unique to Space Wolves. No other army has Thunderwolves. And I loved the fast, hard-hitting, in-your-face, alpha strike feel of the army because at the time, the tactic was bring them down in drop pods and then be in the face of the enemy. That doesn't work so much anymore because of game changing rules and new additions. I'll say that. It's not as viable of a tactic, but at the time it felt amazing because I had been used to either foot slogging or rhino slogging my way up the battlefield. But getting these drop pods in was an amazing feeling at the time. So I remember when the Wolfen came out and they were new, and this was a previous edition, 40K, and they were incredible. They were amazing. And then 8th edition came around and they were still phenomenal. They were still fantastic. And now that this new codex has come out and they have tweaked the Space Wolves, they are even better now because they are less costly than before. They were certainly justified in their cost before, and now I would say, so it's a bonus because you get more for the output. You get more for the points spending and the output of the damage that they do because they're devastating. Anything that they get in the close combat, which is my play style, is definitely close combat. You are so richly rewarded with getting into combat and killing stuff even if you haven't attacked anything because that's what they do before they die, and it is just amazing. And that's what I love. I love the close combat of that. And I find that in this new edition, in 8th edition, specifically the Wolfen, they shine. They really shine. And in this new codex, they shine. I played armies for a couple of different reasons. One is the look, number one. Number two is the lore. And for the lore of the Space Wolves, I love how they're very inspired by Vikings. And I love how they have sagas, and they have stories to be told, and they have victories to be won and to be shared and boasted and compared to others, and that's just amazing. I think that's really cool. So in my mind, I actually picture myself in the minds of the models, and it's an extension of my essence and consciousness when I'm fielding the Space Wolves. It's a completely different feeling that I get when I'm feeling chaos. When I'm feeling chaos, I want everything to die because that's what Khorne wants. Whether it's Khorne or Nurgle or Tzeentch or Slaanesh, that's what Khorne wants. He wants everything to die, and so that's my feeling. But with these guys, whenever they kill things and they achieve their victories, they want to go home. They want to tell their brothers about it, and they want to sing these sagas. So that's the feeling I get. It's any death is a victory. Any sort of prowess on the battlefield is earned, and it just feels so good and rich. It's like when you eat a big steak, the feeling that you get afterwards, the satiety, it's like that. It's like, I just ate a good steak. Now I'm going to tell everyone about it, tell everyone to eat at that restaurant, tell everyone to go on this battlefield because that's where I slaughtered a whole bunch of my enemies. Tau! What I really like about the models is that when I look at them, the ones without helmets, when I look at them, I see my uncles, and I see my grandpas, and my great-grandpas, and I'm looking at genealogy here. I'm looking at my ancestors, which is nuts. I don't know if any of you guys, it might sound completely crazy, but when I look at these guys, that's what I'm thinking in my mind, and that's what I'm feeling. So that's what I love about them. It's the really cool of how they look, and they all, like my dad, look at this guy right here, okay? Like this guy, that is my dad, and that's what I'm fighting with. So when he dies, I take it personally, and that's not good for business. But I love it. That's what I love. And I would say my single most favorite model is probably Bob the Grey Hunter, which, I guess technically his name is Niall Stormcaller, but to me he's Bob because of 40K Rejects, and I love him. He's not the greatest. He doesn't have to be the greatest, and has nothing to do with his stats. It's just because of the personality. Because in my mind, when he's fighting, he's like, well, you didn't have to do that. You can fight this way. And so that's what it is. I jump into their heads when I'm fighting. And I don't care if I win or lose. I just care about stories being told, and I care about the feeling, which is the fun feeling when stuff dies. If one unit has a goal, one out of the 15 units that are being brought in that army, and that one unit's goal is for them to win, is for them to take out another unit, and if that happens, in my mind, I've won. Doesn't matter if overall I've won or lost. So I like winning battles, not wars. I like winning wars too, but that's not the main goal for me in my mind. My goal is for them to go and to fight and to have fun. Because they're basically just wolf boys who want to go out and find some meat and eat it. And that's the feeling that I get when I play with these guys. Man, I'm hungry, I want some steak. So there's a bit of controversy regarding the origins and the changing of origins and the space wolves and how everything is a wolf and before everything wasn't a wolf. And in my mind, it doesn't bother me. And perhaps it's because I got into space wolves 4 years ago, where there's some other players that have been playing for 20 plus years, and you know they're used to a certain way of looking at these guys, and for that to change overnight, I can understand how that would be bothersome and how it wouldn't feel right. But to me, I've actually known these guys longer that way than the previous way, so it doesn't bother me at all. One could say that I'm a new wolf in that regard. I don't feel like a new wolf. Because of what I am, I will always look younger than what I am because of the blood that runs through the veins. Does that make any sense? If it doesn't, it's not supposed to, so don't even try to understand it. Space wolves reward you for getting into close combat, especially if you bring wolfen or thunderwolves. They are fast. I feel like I'm fighting with my family, alongside my family. These are my brothers, my uncles, my fathers. And that's why I love Space Wolves. Those are some of the reasons why I love Space Wolves. Yes, it's ironic I'm wearing a World Eater shirt, but ultimately I'm more than one thing. And tell me why you love Space Wolves. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. We will look at them with the eye of terror, and we will judge what you say and see if you're a true Space Wolves player. Also, remember to click on the links in the video description below to check out the bat reports, especially the new bat reps with the new codex, the new Space Wolves. That will be in the MiniWarGaming Vault. If you're not a Vault member, I encourage you to become a wolf and eat what is in the Vault. Sign up for a 7-day free trial to the MiniWarGaming Vault so that you can feast on that glorious table of smorgasbord of beef and everything good. I said smorgasbord. And Morg is the nickname for my son because this army is my family. And that's why I said that. Not because I'm messing up the words. That doesn't happen ever. It doesn't happen to you guys either. See you in the next video. Happy wargaming.